Kids are screaming upstairs. Hey everybody, hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving if you were in North America. If you're in other parts of the world, happy Life Day.
Happy Life Day, everyone.
So something interesting happened driving the kids to American Fork Canyon this morning up in northern Utah, and on our way we almost died. This truck came blazing through a red light right in front of us, just barely missed us. Once they were figured out that they actually had ran the red light, they slammed on their brakes, which made things worse. So I'll show you a little footage of that there.
Holy cow.
This being Thanksgiving in North America definitely made us grateful for being alive. A lot of times we just forget that being alive is one of the greatest gifts we can have. A lot of other things too. I mean, you know, driving through the canyon and seeing the snow afterwards, it was really nice. We had a pretty rough Thanksgiving too. We got the stomach flu or E. coli. We're not sure which. We think it's E. coli because our kids have been sharing drinks with us all week and they haven't gotten sick. And we ate some salad at Cafe Rio, which is one of our favorite places to eat. And they had E. coli in the lettuce. They've since pulled it, but you know, I guess the damage has been done for a lot of people. So we missed Thanksgiving with the family, and you know, we're pretty down and out and everything. That's why sometimes moments like those where you almost die make you appreciate having a small heated up lasagna dinner for Thanksgiving.
Sorry.
No, you don't need to be sorry. She was feeling really sick, and yeah, sometimes you just count the small wins, right? The small blessings. So anyway, enough of that. I want to talk about, well, first of all, Ian. He's been having more anxiety attacks and things like that. We're thinking about trying some cannabis oil with him.
CBD.
CBD, as my wife reminded me. Not currently through all the red tape here in Utah when it comes to the legality of everything. There's just a lot of ifs, ands, and buts, and what ifs. They're still working out the red tape, but over in Nevada, from what I understand, it's legal to sell marijuana and cannabis oil. So we're going to try to get some for Ian. My sister lives over in Reno in Nevada, and so maybe sometime early spring we're going to head over there and see what we can see. Just try a little, see how Ian reacts. Obviously we're going to stop taking the risperidone and wait a day and then see how he does on the cannabis oil. So it should be interesting to see what happens there. Another thing I want to talk about is, well, we're almost at 50,000 subscribers, and there's a lot of changes going on. Like I said, we got a new computer in one of our earlier videos. I think I mentioned we got a new computer. That's bought us some time. A lot of people have been requesting that we go to social media. I did another video about Patreon and Facebook and why we aren't on those formats. So I've waffled on this back and forth about what to do with our channel. A lot of people have mentioned they love our channel because they feel it's very authentic, that we don't sell out, as it were. I remember when we first monetized some of our videos, a lot of people gave us flack for that, like, oh, you're just cashing in on your family and stuff like that. Then we posted our actual revenue earnings from YouTube, and then people shut up pretty quick because they realized we were losing money on our channel. When you think of our time, the equipment, investment, all the things we do, all the research, we've been losing money. The YouTube gold rush, as it were, has been long gone. And so I've been thinking, you know, ways to get our message out there, more autism awareness. And most people, and I know it sounds crude and a lot of people don't like to hear it, but when you put money behind things, they get more traction, they get more attention. That's just the nature of the beast. If you look at Facebook or YouTube or any other company for that matter that started out free, quote unquote, they didn't really gain a whole lot of traction until they started placing ads and getting revenue and sponsorship and things like that. That's not necessarily a bad thing, as long as I think you're being sincere and you're being honest. And we'll always aim and strive to do that. So what am I getting at? Basically, we're going to try testing our waters in Facebook and Patreon, just for starters. Not Twitter, not Snapchat, not Instagram. I mean, it can get a little daunting, a little overwhelming. So we're going to start small. Most likely, what we have planned so far, and I'd like to hear your ideas in the comments as to some things you guys would like to see. But I started a Facebook group that's still private right now. And then those who are interested in becoming a member of that Facebook group will probably have that on Patreon as $1 a month. And then that's where you're going to hear our updates and family, behind the scenes, and it'll be more frequent versus like the 1 a week or once every 2 week video upload. And then maybe like at $5, we'll do like a behind the scenes video for the month, and then, credits in our video. And then possibly at $10 a month, we'll do like, you can submit your video ideas to us and we'll choose the best video idea, best concept. And then maybe do like early, video previews for you guys before we post them to YouTube. You guys are pretty much familiar with how it works if you've done Patreon with other people, but we're pretty new to the whole concept, the whole idea, because I just never really considered it. It's a lot of work from what most people say, and we don't have a lot of free time. We really don't. So this is kind of where this is all headed, is in the future, and I do mean future because we're not there yet. Our dream is to move out of the city and either move to the forest or the desert or someplace more remote. Get clean air. Northern Utah has some horrible air. I love a lot of things about Northern Utah. I really do. Just showed you some beautiful footage of the canyon. But most of Northern Utah is covered in a thick layer of smog, and not the good kind. Is there ever a good kind? There's not a good kind.
From the inversion, you might want to mention.
Yeah, it's from the inversion. So basically, we have a bowl shape with mountains around us, and then when it gets cold, all of the air settles down because of the low pressure, and we get to breathe all the nasty stuff we've been putting into the air. I'm not a tree hugger by any means, although I do love the redwoods. But
You'll hug those trees.
What's that?
You'll hug those trees.
Yeah, I'll hug those trees. But you got to breathe air. Again, there's a lot I love about Northern Utah, but we are one of those states that just puts jobs and economy ahead of everything else, including personal health. So pros and cons. And also, Brittany wants to get into being a dental hygienist, and so she has to go back to school for that. But she can't go back to school while I'm working full time because someone has to watch the kids. So it would be a trade-off where I become Mr. Mom, she goes back to school. I could run the channel full time and kind of fill in the pay gaps while she's going to school. And then when she gets a full-time job, that will be more stable than video production, what I'm currently doing, because every single day, and I don't take this for granted, every single day I do video production, which is what I work in full time, not just on YouTube, but at work. I thank my stars that I'm able to work in video production, because most people treat it like it's not a real job. I'm sure you've heard people say that about YouTube as well. To me, a job is providing any given service for pay. That's a job, that's a career. I don't find any fault with people making a living off YouTube or video production or even being a musician. Granted, that's a risky job, but to me, that's still a job. You're providing a service. And in our society today, so many people have gotten used to free stuff, they forget that nothing comes free. And I mean, nothing comes free. All of that stuff you think is free, you've traded for something for it. Either your personal privacy, or you had to sit through an ad, or whatever. I often remind people when they're like, well, Jesus Christ's atonement was free. And I'm like, no, it wasn't. He had to pay for it. He paid for it with his life. So nothing is free. It might be free to you, in a manner of speaking, but anyway, I'm going off on a little rant here. I just want you guys to know that if we're going to move forward with this channel, if we want it to become something more than it is and to reach more people, we're going to have to put some money behind it. And again, I know that sounds crude to a lot of people. They're not willing to let go of. It reminds me of in middle school when people would find like some no-name band and they're like, this is authentic, this is original. And then that band, it becomes more and more popular and they start getting money and they start signing deals and getting contracts. And it's like, do you still listen to them? And they're like, oh, no, they sold out a long time ago. And it's like, well, what do you mean? Like, what was their aim? To always be unsuccessful and live paycheck to paycheck outside of a studio? It's, it just doesn't make a lot of sense. We've got a little visitor here who's probably going to shake the camera. Do you want to say hi? Do you want to come say hi? Come here. Let's come say hi.
Aw, hello.
And we got to think about these guys' future, to put it not so bluntly. If you want a future, we got to stop living paycheck to paycheck. So, yeah, we just ask that you guys do what you can. No, nothing crazy. You know, if you want to support us, great. If you don't, that's fine too. We're just putting ourselves out there. And again, it's going to start small. So just look forward in the upcoming months. I'll provide more information, more details. This video's already gone on long enough. And we'll slowly try to transition into Facebook and Patreon. But just be patient with us. I'm already headed out on a work trip for 2 weeks. I have to leave to Georgia, and then I come back, and then I go to California, and I come back, and then I have to deal with all the Christmas stuff.
And meanwhile, I'm holding the fort.
Yeah, and Brittany's holding the fort. So we're busy, guys. We're real busy. And, you know, we got little kids shaking the camera.
Let go.
So anyway, I just want to thank you guys. We're going to continue to be authentic no matter what happens monetarily. We're going to continue to be honest with you guys and just tell you straight up how it is in our lives. That's not going to change. And just really appreciate you and hope you're not getting nauseated from the shaky camera. We'll talk to you guys later.